Life is short. You just never know when your time's going to be. That sentiment is true for Elmira native Andy Vert, a standout wrestler for years. But off the mat, it was Andy's heart that will stand the test of time. Wrestling is the most primitive sport in the world. It produces strong men with even stronger minds. Elmira's Andy Vert lived it.
Very dedicated. He wrestled all year long.
He just fell in love with wrestling right from the very start.
Competing at both Notre Dame and Elmira Southside in the late 1990s and early 2000s, Vert emerged as one of the area's best, highlighted by winning the first ever Jeff Reese tournament in 2001. Vert battled many personal demons, including a bipolar disorder. His biggest opponent now was himself.
He had some struggles in life, as most teens do. We really feel that he had overcome them.
Over time, Vert faced his problems and worked his way back. He held a steady job, was doing well at school, and married the love of his life, Tiffany, in June. Andy also helped Tiffany with her own battle of being born deaf. But 3 weeks after getting married, everything changed. On July 21st, Vert tragically died in a motorcycle crash, leaving behind his wife and 2 children. He was just 30.
You don't expect in the middle of the night to get a phone call to say, your son is dead.
He just married me and he had 2 little kids. How am I going to do that?
Andy, they call it his man cave. He had all his tools and all the stuff I gave him in that garage. And when I walked into that place, it hit me like I never been hit before.
For a man who wrestled at the highest level and fought tough times, Andy's family must now fight for his memory.
Andy's the type of person that would give you the shirt off his back even if he needed it. Always smiling.
I go out and talk to him every morning. I'm up quite early. And I look at Tiff and Andy. When I get up in the morning, I tell them what is going to happen for the day. And that's how I try to handle it.
To this day, the accident poses questions that still remain. But as for Andy, there is no question. He wrestled life to the fullest.
He would push everyone to the limit where they need to be, so that way they can appreciate things in life.
He let it felt how much he loved his family. Miss him a lot.
We'll make sure that he keeps memory alive.
Now the crash is still under investigation. Now the Vert family tells me they've received little information from authorities and they still hope to find the truth. If you or someone you know has any information, please contact the New York State Police at 607-739-8797.
My dad had me playing since I was real young. I've loved it ever since.
Baseball, a game passed down from father to son. On April 11, 2011, Edison's Ty Ungerlid lost the best teammate. His father, Jamie, tragically died in a freak maintenance accident. The death sent shockwaves throughout Elmira Heights.
I was sitting in class. I don't know, just got the call, said I had to go.
He was fixing the lawnmower and it just came out from underneath him and it landed on him, and that's how I found him.
For decades, Jamie Ungerlid coached and volunteered at Heights Little League, where he was a great role model.
All around hardworking man, just never catch him sitting down. The whole community learned a whole lot from him too.
Now Ty's trying to learn to live with the pain. But on April 11th, 1 year to the day of his father's death, he found strength versus Tioga.
Before he left, I gave him a hug and I said, hit one up to your dad, and his first at bat, hit a home run right up to him.
Ty didn't just hit 1 home run, he hit 2. On his way to an amazing 5-for-5, 5 RBI day, Edison won 15-1.
We hadn't hit a home run up to that point all year. Everybody on our side of the field that day knew exactly who that was for and why that happened on that particular day.
Everyone wanted that for him. I mean, that was the best thing that could have happened for him. And I guarantee you, Jamie's right now looking down on us and helping us out right now.
Today, Jamie's spirit still lives, with his initials engraved on many baseball items. But perhaps no greater honor was given than Ty's performance at the plate.
It speaks to everything that the Ungerland family stands for. There couldn't have been a better tribute to Jamie than to have his son perform as well as he did on that one-year anniversary.
And the love from Jamie's family is more than a day, a game, and even a year. It's forever.
Just how much we miss him. And we're trying to make him proud. And I know he's proud.
Hit me after the game. It was a good day, a day I'll never forget.
Sports fans do it all. They cheer, they argue, and even sing fight songs. In Horseheads, there's a fan who's had a much different fight for his life.
Always have enjoyed watching Horsehead sports. It's been a big part of my life.
How do you know if your passion is different? And what if it lasted forever? Pete Driscoll has been a part of Horsehead sports since the 1950s. First as an athlete, a coach, and now cheering on the Blue Raiders as its biggest fan.
I've stayed watching it because I thoroughly enjoy watching the fundamentals of the game.
He's at basketball games, he's at football games, he's at baseball games. If there's a game, Pete's there.
5 years ago, Pete almost left sports for good. He was struck by colon cancer, undergoing 12 different surgeries while dropping to 130 pounds. And during his second operation, in a new effort to rid the cancer, Driscoll went into cardiac arrest and was brought back to life.
There was a time 4 years ago, I thought the prognosis didn't look good. And the life that came out of him, I didn't see it quite so much.
I just laid around, didn't do a lot. One day my son Greg said to me, "You know, Dad, you haven't laughed in 6 months." And that really hit home, and I got thinking about it. I'm going to take the positive way.
Through the pain and even a threatened leg amputation, Driscoll's fought his way back, not only for himself, but for Horsehead sports.
He's not as mobile as he was, but he still, has that drive to just go watch these kids. He's beaten this.
He's made a miraculous comeback. He's at the games, he's out there, he's doing the things he loves to do.
All right, put it in blue. All right.
He's Horsehead's #1 fan.
With the help of the sports he's given his life to, Driscoll's beating cancer, giving him his own life back. Something we all can cheer for with Pete.
I enjoy just being around people, and I guess that would be it. Pete was a pretty good guy.
There was a passion, there was a dedication, there was a commitment, there was a love for the game.
Yeah! Tony, right now to breath! Hold the ball.
Old school, tough love, work. Corning's Bob Strayton is lacrosse. In 31 years of coaching, there was 544 wins, 90 Division I players, and a legacy unmatched. No other coach put more into the game.
Young men would say, sometimes even in tears, that they could not wait to play lacrosse and try to help East High win a state championship.
East made the state finals 13 times, winning in 1990.
This is their day for their city.
In every season, Strayton used a no-nonsense, blue-collar approach.
The only time we really achieve true success is when we work on our own because we choose to. How do you get to be good if you don't get some degree of that focus, that determination, that desire?
The last 2 years with the combined Corning Hawks certainly lacked focus. Corning didn't win a sectional title.
Parts of what made East High lacrosse so great may not necessarily line up exactly with what the district maybe felt was the direction they wanted to take the program in.
After 3 decades at Corning, Strayton retired. And hey, let's not forget about the hundreds of youth players Strayton helped, along with years of box lacrosse, 30 to be exact. Numbers don't lie, but now Corning lacrosse must move on, and so does Strayton.
The next chapter of my life is very much an up in the air. For the first time in maybe my whole life, I have to sort of challenge myself to find that new beginning.
And I'm awful damn glad I came here 9 years ago. Thank you.
Without Streeton, the face of a program, even a city, is now gone. And with it, the old school approach that gave so many opportunities to play and learn valuable life lessons. And if there's one final lesson to learn, Streeton's legacy is something we may never see again to appreciate.
And it was special because we were willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
The most rewarding things for him were seeing his players succeed, having fun.
People say if you love your job, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Ithaca's Art Ciccati not only loved his job, he loved Ithaca.
He was really good at reading a team, what the team needed to do to succeed.
A hockey and baseball coach for decades, success followed. Ithaca won 3 state titles on the ice and hundreds of games on the diamond.
You know, Art was one of those guys, it didn't really matter what your name was or where you're from. He treated all kids the same.
So equal that one reaction shaped New York State forever. In a baseball game, one Vestal player slid into second base, catching an elbow to the throat. Art came to the rescue.
He saved the life of a player from Vestal, and it was because of that New York State coaches now have to be certified in first aid.
Whether it was his team or the opposition, Ciccati was an everyman.
A guy that was sincere in his motivation. He generally cared about all his players.
In December, Ciccati passed away after a battle with lung cancer, but not before leaving behind an everlasting legacy.
Certainly will be missed. He's in the hearts of all of us.
He just loved people, and that's what he was all about.
Sometimes in life, we're given a blessing in disguise. For 2 Elmira cross-country runners, it was a major accident that blessed them to run with a purpose. Few things in sport bond people together. A championship, a friendship, and even hardship. Elmira Cross Country's Melinda Wheeler and Jessica Thatcher are bonded for life.
I just remember her having a lot of blood on her, and it was really scary, and we were like yelling for someone to call 911.
I was still in a lot of shock, and I didn't really realize how much pain I was in, but my stomach was hurting me pretty badly.
In September 2011, the two friends hydroplaned into a tree in a severe car crash. Melinda fractured her leg and suffered a concussion, while Jessica damaged the inside of her stomach and had much of her small intestine removed.
Our team was pretty much in shambles. Pretty devastating news.
For Jess, it got worse. Doctors discovered cancer, a carcinoid tumor on her appendix. Ironically, a car accident saved her life.
The miracle that they had found the cancer and that it was removed. At any time during your life, a carcinoid tumor, if not found before and removed, the death rate is pretty high. If it's hit wrong or can metastasize.
But the accident couldn't remove them from the sport. After a year of recovery, they're leading the Express.
We've raced together side by side. We obviously had to work hard to come back, but we did.
With things that are hard, you learn lessons. It made me realize how quick something can happen and how lucky we are.
Whether they win or lose a race, their friendship has conquered all.
It gives you a real great appreciation for their competitive spirit. They have been so determined to get back and to show people that they're not done.
Once you go through something like that with someone that you're close to, I mean, it just makes you stronger.
I'm just happy that things turned out the way that they did. I mean, I'm really lucky and blessed.
Well, it's a huge, huge thing this Friday. She will race in the 5,000 meter final in the Olympic Games in London. And if you check out the road here, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to check out 2 spots. 5,000 meters, it equates to 3 miles. We're going to go to 2 different spots, one each end of the road, and see what we find, all from Maui Huddle. Here we go. We take a right for our first way out of Notre Dame High School and don't see much. Lots of corn, a bridge, and at 3.1 miles to be exact, here's spot number 1. Town of Ashland, as you can see, not much civilization right here.
Molly could have taken the scenic route from school out that way, but as for our second turn, well, that took us from 427 down Pennsylvania Avenue to this.
A Twin Tier staple, Pudgy's Pizza, 5,000 meters away from Southport. And I don't think Molly Huddle's been eating any Pudgy's anytime soon, but either way, hopefully she gets some gold come Friday.
These two places, 5,000 meters from Huddle School, aren't relevant to many around the world, but they do belong to us here in the Twin Tiers, just like Molly. And no matter the distance, Huddle has a chance to make her home known throughout the entire world. And I couldn't end the night without my own gold medal.